people are looking for something that like a solution that doesn't exist, and you just need to be realistic about it. People forget sometimes that we don't need to measure every single metric, and especially when it comes to PR, sometimes you need to look at the funnel as a whole.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Jolly SEO's TLDR. Charlie Clark is here today, the founder at Minty Digital. Charlie, thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me on. It's yeah, great to finally speak to you.
Yeah, likewise. I only wish I was there in person. I just thought it's such a treat to get the background you got, at least live through you a little bit here for a second.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't deliberately trying to show off, but I'm actually down in the south of Spain at the moment, so I thought it would be a bit rude not to share the nice view.
Yeah. For everyone watching, he's got this awesome view in the background, and I made Charlie pivot at the last second his background just so we could see this. So that he was not flexing. Um, but you do focus on travel as one of your agency's niches, is that right?
Yes, correct. We primarily specialize in the travel, leisure, and lifestyle space. And yeah, we're serving customers mainly in Europe and the US and the UK. But we have some that stretch a little bit further, as far as Australia or some other Asian countries. So yeah, so it's pretty diverse range of clients, even though it's solely on the travel niche.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it's awesome. You serve just one niche. Okay, so today I really wanted to ask you because I've watched your content for I think we were just chatting at least a year now, and primarily I've watched it about our agency life, but also digital PR. Except we didn't want to focus the whole combo on digital PR. We want to get into what everyone's talking about in 2025. What is the impact on? I'm curious. Do you call it LLMO? Geo, AIO, what's your term of choice?
At the moment, we are coining it under the term AI search. I feel like a lot of people have jumped the gun in what to coin it, how to manage it, or how to optimize for it, and it's so new still. It's so new, and there's so many evolving technologies coming out now, especially in the SEO world. Yeah, we're trying to coin it under this, and we're just seeing which way the wind sails with it. Keeping a close eye, obviously optimizing, not ignoring, working with it for our clients. But I think AI search is an apt name for it at this time.
Okay, AI search. Forgive me if I use a different term. I'm gonna try the whole episode. Say AI search. I have a
No,
similar.
no worries.
It's just the time of flux right now. We're in June 2025 recording. So, what about digital PR? How do you define it? Because I'm sure you've noticed it's your space in particular. Everyone uses the term in so many different ways. So how you're a pro at it, how do you define it?
Yeah, I think it's funny because there's one end of the spectrum which will sell the service as what I call like glorified link building. And then there's the other end of the spectrum, which I feel we fit within, which is more the links are a big part of what we do for sure. But especially as we come into the world of AI search, the brand mentions, the authoritativeness, the actually just getting the name of your company out there in front of your readers in the publications that they're reading daily. This is what we feel falls under the realm of PR. It's so much more. It's what I talk about when I speak at conferences. It's like people need to think beyond the link. There's so much more to it now, especially as we come into a world where brand mentions are actually influencing the results we see in AI search. I definitely feel like the people that are just selling it as a link building service are sometimes selling themselves a bit short of what they're actually able to deliver for their clients.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guilty of that, right? So we primarily call ourselves link builders. There's a huge PR benefit that we've certainly under monetized, but just undervalued in
Mm,
communicating that value to our clients.
yeah. It's tough though because sometimes clients just want the links and you can educate them as much as you want. And I understand why they want it and there's massive value to it. So yeah, you have to try to find line, I think, sometimes with educating the right clients. I mean, different clients have different requirements, right? So yeah, I think it's really about how you position yourself and if people do just want the links, that's great. But yeah, there's just so much more, I think, that people don't understand what PR can do for a brand.
Totally. We're definitely going to get into how you currently view digital PR's impact on AI search, but really quick for someone newer to digital PR, what's like a quick way they could get started? Say you don't have your own network yet because you haven't done it. What would you do today in 2025?
Hmm. If I was, and I'm trying to think as well, because some of the PR tools are super expensive. So I'm trying to think if I was going to bootstrap it as a freelancer from day one, I would. Now, in PR, there's a lot of campaigns that what people call like safe bets. They don't repeat themselves. So like expert quotes, for example, or best cities index. There's a lot of campaigns that you see all the time that are very similar. I think if I was starting again, I would look at all of the people campaigns that people are running. So there's a few great newsletters. There's one called The Grapevine. Mark Roth, a PR guy from the UK, he's got a great newsletter. Or look at agency websites. I take a look at some of the campaigns there. I would try and find a replicate angle for one of my clients. Build something bootstrapped from the ground up. There's lots of, I mean, primary data sources are so important in some cases for digital PR campaigns, and there's a bunch of free ones. In the UK, there's loads. In the US, there's so many free pieces of data where you can pull a story together from. I'll be making sure to use them. Once I had a story created, I would be, because the journalist database tools are, I mean, you're looking at sometimes 5, 10K for an annual subscription.
Right.
But if you just use a tool like Hunter, you can research the stories online that, might fit within topics that you're looking to cover, see the journalists that wrote them, get their email using Hunter, and then proactively reach out to them with your pitch. And yes, it'll be a lot more time consuming than if you've got all the automations and everything. But if I was starting from day one, I would say that would be your best bet to get your foot in the door.
Hey, I'm so glad you're enjoying the video so far. If you want our help to keep your traffic trending up, please click that first link in the description down there. That lets you message me directly and I'll get right back to you. Looking forward to helping you out, and please enjoy the rest of this video. Awesome. No, thank you so much. Wait, last question for someone who's still feeling their way around digital PR, fulfilling it. Is there a niche you'd advise? I know you've niched down into one specific niche, but let's say someone else hasn't yet. Is there one you'd point to them like I wouldn't pick that one of all niches?
Yeah. Yes. So this is a double-edged sword kind of thing because finance is one of the most lucrative PR aspects you can get into. But when
Yeah,
it comes down
interesting.
to but I would avoid it, and we do avoid it because one of the things that we used to come into issues with are getting campaign ideas through regulations. So, as an example, we had a campaign about 4 years ago now, which was about the price of a pint of beer in the UK, and we calculated that with inflation, it would end up costing like £10, so like that's like $14, right? I don't even know if that's expensive in the US, but in the UK it's like quite expensive for a beer. So we worked this out. Amazing campaign. Like over 100 links from it, went really, really well. And then compliance came back to us and said, "Oh, you can't have alcohol and finance links in the same campaign." So we're like, okay. So we had to take it down. They came back to us, and then basically every campaign, and it's happened a few times with financial clients that we've had to have signed off before. In my experience, they just get made quite boring by the compliance teams, and you need that element of excitement, and you need that element of yeah, you just need to have that hook when you put a campaign like this together to make it enticing for the reader. And yeah, what we found in the finance niche is that it's especially tricky because yeah, you really have to water it down and just not something that we get with travel. We can just normally something in some cases the clients just let us publish campaigns without even looking at them, which is just amazing for us. We can just have a complete free run.
Yeah, no, that's the agency owner or freelancer's dream, right? No need for reviews and edits and all these. Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare, and I definitely wouldn't have known about that landmine. So thanks for sharing that. That's you would think
Yeah,
finance
no worries.
home run, right? Walk in the park, but that makes sense. Okay, now that we've just briefly, just a small sense of how you all operate, I'm curious because 2025 and last year, really 2024, started changing a lot for all of us agencies and how we communicate with our clients. So, how has your reporting changed? Because, like you said, definitely not just about the links, but now you've got this other element. It's not just about Google anymore, right? So, are you incorporating all the AI search tools in your reporting? Where do you see it going as the year progresses? And uh, I guess basically, like, what are you reporting in relation to all this?
Yeah, it's tough at the moment. If I can be completely honest, I've not found the reporting tool yet that has been able
Absolutely
where
not.
I've able to definitively say no. That I've seen a lot come out. I've tried a few. I've not seen anything so far where I can specifically see our results and OMMs. It's not there yet. I know Google Search Console are releasing an AI overviews feature soon, which will
Okay.
be fantastic and very much needed.
Yeah.
But how we're reporting on clients at the moment, one of the things we're doing, we're proactively educating them on changes. Like we've got our finger on the pulse with it, and we're actively looking to educate our clients where we can. In Google Search Console, for example, everyone's seen the graph now where impressions are tripling and clicks are halving. If we're ever seeing anything like this, we won't ignore it and we'll bring it up and we'll explain to them, what's going on. If we do see areas like this, what we're also doing now in our reporting is like manually looking for if just well, not every single search term there is, but we're looking for examples where the client's showing up, including that in our reports and just showing them, that we are, keeping an eye on these changes in the search space. And the last thing is GA4. What a real good positive at the moment. And there's a lot of bad things said about GA4, I think, over the last years. But you can see we're seeing direct traffic and we're seeing direct conversions from LLMs now, which, you know, we can actively put into our reports and showcasing value from it, which I think the traffic that we do get from these AI search sources, well, what I'm seeing at the moment is that the quality in some cases is actually better than what we're getting from organic or paid. In one case, ChatGPT, it's a very small percentage compared. I mean, not minute. I think it's somewhere between like 5 and 10% in terms of the traffic coming to the site. It's more like five, but it's the highest converting channel in terms of percentage at the
Fascinating.
moment for one of our clients. Yeah, it's at the highest conversion rate, but of course, like the sample data is a lot smaller than the other channels. But still, it's interesting. It's all about finding these wins, and something like that I think can really reassure a client that search is moving in the right direction, rather than just getting worried that ChatGPT is going to take all your users.
Yeah, not that we're in the business of sugarcoating it for our clients, right? But I'm very much in the same space as you. Yesterday, A16Z, like a big VC firm in the US, put out this article talking about how geo is going to beat out SEO, and then they had this screenshot of like the 30 different tools that are out there right now, because
Yeah,
like you've experienced, like I've experienced, like every SEO listening by now has experienced, what's the difference in all these tools and like what do they actually even show to anybody? They all promise
yeah,
even further insights, and it's like, what? Like, what do you like? What insights have you got? But it sounds like
it's
you've
nothing.
identified something, and GA4. It sounds like we all should be looking further into that data.
Yeah, I just think in some cases now people are looking for something that like a solution that doesn't exist,
Yeah,
and you just need to be realistic about it. I mean, I've been in marketing long enough to know that, maybe it's 10, 15 years now. Of course, we had like Google Analytics then, but I think people forget sometimes that we don't need to measure absolutely every single metric, and especially when it comes to PR. Sometimes you need to look at the funnel as a whole. We don't need to track every single click, every single conversion. It's great to, but sometimes you can't, right? And you need to just work out what's your resource, what can we actually track. But ultimately, like, is the brand improving? Is the revenue improving? Are we getting more clients, more customers? You need to have that element there within the conversations with your clients because, you can run into the risk of, for example, if we use one of these reporting tools that we're on about, and the data is completely wrong, and you've gone in there with confidence to sell that to a client or give that to a client as part of your reporting, you're going to lose trust instantly. So I think it's better just to be frank and honest about the situation and just, let people know we're working through this together. There's a lot of changes. Revenue traffic still good, we hope. So yeah, let's work together and navigate it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that in fact, that's one of my questions for you, because as you said, let's be honest, I'm still feeling my way through all this. I'm just curious, like what it sounds like we already kind of talked about this a bit, but like for almost all your deliverables to clients related to AI search, are you putting that like disclaimer, like we have X degree of confidence or X percent of confidence, or are you just saying like, hey, this is experimental. We could be right, we could be wrong.
Mm. Yeah, we're reporting on like what we know. So that's what we
Okay,
actually put in our hub
smart.
reports. And what we'll do is we'll normally talk people through all the findings. For example, one of the talks I did recently about how AI is influencing AI search. It's that's all based off the actual, well, it's a combination of what we know based off the science, based off what, the algorithms and what these actual patents from companies like Google and OpenAI have, and it's what they're working on. And the other side of it is, yeah, theoretical. What are we finding manually? What tools are we trialing? Just those open conversations, I think, are the best to communicate it.
Yeah, I like it. Uh, this would be, I think, really cool to touch base on like 3 to 6 months from now, maybe probably six, really, to like rehash and see like where are you guys now? I know we're like currently actively building our own dashboard just because related to that tool issue where we're like, well, we can't find what we actually want, so we're just gonna create something. Um, so I wonder if I'll be eating those words 6 months from now, things like that. I'd just be curious to see like where we're all at.
Yeah, and I think it's important. We need to be building these dashboards. We need to be building these tools. Um, we need to be doing it because you can't completely be standing still, right, and just hoping the right solution lands on your lap because that yeah, sometimes that isn't the case, and you don't want to fall behind. But yeah, I think like you said, it's like R&D, isn't it? At the moment, I think it's just making sure there's enough budget in the agency to be researching, developing new tools, ways of reporting. It's all positive. Yeah, I think just the grip I've got at the moment is people selling these tools as the new Ahrefs or SEMrush, and they don't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, humor aside, which I agree with you, it has added more excitement, right? Like, of course, it added anxiety in the mix, but like genuine, like you said, the R&D opportunity is there again. Where, I'm
Mm.
not claiming that I was a master of SEO. I'll make you rank number one overnight, but the playbook was fairly well defined, and it felt like a little bit of stale air in the room, and now the
Mm,
script has been flipped a little bit. It's interesting.
I agree, and I think it's a really exciting time. I have to say, I'm glad you said that about a bit of the stale air. Definitely don't want to say I was like bored. So I love doing SEO. I've been doing it for years, and I've been running the agency for years. But I know what you mean. It was getting quite cookie cutter, so to
Yeah.
speak, in terms of what we can do. And now it's just a completely new playing field. I saw yesterday, or a couple of days ago now, that AI overviews are now incorporating like TikTok and Instagram,
Wow.
TikTok Shorts, YouTube Shorts, TikToks, Instagram Reels directly in the results, which is really, really interesting for people asking questions because it's something that we're doing for our PR campaigns as well. Like we take the story
Especially for your
and then we're
niche,
looking
right?
for, oh yeah, for travel as well. It's amazing. Like, and now, we're taking our campaigns where we want to like, distribute them to influencers, like micro influencers, get them to post a story, drop the brand, and it's just adding this whole other layer on, which is something that we weren't able to do before. I'm really, really excited to see how these new trends develop.
Yeah, no, I would be. I hadn't seen that, so thanks for teaching me about that. I'll go look for that after we're done recording, to be honest. yeah, new developments every day. Charlie,
Yeah.
I always like to end every episode the same, but it's different. I like to ask the guest, what is something, me being a novice to your space, that I didn't ask that you think we ought to talk about for the audience?
That's a good question, that. Um, it's not something you didn't ask, but I think it's something that everyone working in the link building and digital VR space needs to know. And it is, you know, it's something I always encourage our clients and our customers and my peers to do. And it is always thinking beyond the link in terms of when it comes to link building campaigns. And the reason I say it, especially to other founders in the agency, is that there's so much more to your work that you're not reporting on, that you're missing. And if you're using these social listening tools, there's a few out, I mean, there's a few expensive ones like Meltwater, Brandwatch, but the impact you can get from the links or the coverage you're building, sometimes we just report on a spreadsheet and it's like, DA40, this is the traffic. But when you start looking at the reach, the social engagement, if these publications are, reposting these over their socials, like the, the metrics you can pull are absolutely fascinating. And I just feel like there's so many people in the space that are just really undervaluing the work that they're doing just by reporting on links on the spreadsheet, so to speak. So yeah, there's improve the reporting, continue to work on the reporting is probably my biggest takeaway.
I hope other people heard you. That has been a takeaway for us this year at Jolly SEO. We've just for years chronically under communicated the value, and we're definitely working on that. So thank
Mm.
you for that, Charlie. Where do you want people to look you up? I'll say it again. Charlie Clark, founder of Minty Digital. So definitely Google that one. But where else should people look for you?
Yeah, I'd say I'm most active on LinkedIn now. I still post on X, but I feel like it's just falling into an abyss at the moment. So I would say LinkedIn's probably the place where I'm going to double down on my efforts. So that's the best place to give me a follow.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time, Charlie, and enjoy the view behind you.
I will. Thank you so much. It's great to speak with you.